speaking of names in new places, you've had to experience that obviously as a Cubs fan recently. Everywhere, just absolute crazy fire sale. I haven't seen anything quite like that at the deadline. I mean, of course, I'm happy about it. You see the flag in the background.
I was going to say, I see your Giants flag in the background, so I'm sure you're happy about it.
Kris Bryant in the Bay, Javier Baez to New York, Anthony Rizzo also to New York. Just losing everything to the New York area code right
Pretty
now.
Much.
But what really stung you? Was it the seeing them all homer in their debut like that too? Were you happy? Were you sad?
So I would say the biggest stinger for me is Anthony Rizzo leaving. Anthony Rizzo has been my favorite player forever, and I just absolutely love him. So I am so sad to see him go. And I really thought he might be the one that would stick around because, you know, all the chatter that was going on is he was saying, if the ship is sinking, I want to go down with it. I don't want to leave Chicago. I want to stay here. So I really didn't think that they were, you know, going to sell him off, but they did. Unfortunately, I think Yankees fans are very happy because he's been doing really well so far since he's been in New York. I'm always going to cheer for him. So I'm super happy that he's doing well in New York. I'm like crossing my fingers that by some miracle we'll get him back at the end of the season after everything's said and done. So we'll see about that. And then, I mean, all of them homering, I mean, it's sad because I am very sad that they're all leaving, but I'm also happy for them because I love them all as individual players. But I'm just so sad that the Cubs core is broken up. And on top of it, then we also gave Craig Kimbrell to the White Sox too. So he's going to the South Side. So we just, everybody of any type of fandom and everything in the Cubs world in Chicago, like pretty much is gone now. Wilson's like one of our only guys, and Hayward from our World Series core that we still have. So
yeah, it's hard to say on prospects this early in the game, but are you happy with the returns at least?
Yeah, and I've seen that thus far, according to Fangraphs and everything, now with the prospects that the Cubs have acquired, we've really gone up in the rankings. But I mean, like you just said, that's so hard to tell, and especially with baseball, because you might draft a guy, you know, in the first round, and he may never see the major league field ever. It's such a process with baseball. You just never know what's going to happen. So, I mean, yeah, right now it says that they look good and they've got this great up and comers, but you don't know if any of these guys are going to pan out. Maybe if we're lucky, one or two of them do. So it really just depends. I mean, of course, for my sake, I hope that they do. And I hope this whole process of a rebuild is a positive one. But the Cubs are going to suck for quite a while right now. So as Cubs fans, we're used to that, though.
Another 108 years on tap?
I really hope not, but it could be the case.
If it happened, would you at least be okay, given that you have seen them win so recently?
I've seen a World Series, and you know what? There are so many Cubs fans in their lives that can say that they never saw it. So I'm lucky, in my opinion. I also got to go to Game 5 of the World Series at Wrigley. So I'm like, that was a huge thing checked off my bucket list and one of the coolest things ever. So I cannot complain.
I've said if the Giants and Astros manage to lock up this year in the World Series, there's not a thing on this earth that will keep me from going that World Series.
You gotta go.
I will never financially recover from that decision, but I will be satisfied with the result.
It's like a life thing that you like have to do, especially as a baseball fan. And if it's your team, it's even better. It's worth it to go. I was like, the Cubs were down 3-1 when I went too, and it was still like, and of course we ended up winning, but like it was absolutely amazing. One of like the best memories I have.
Just giving Aroldis Chapman those like flashbacks and everything. Oh,
that was, so I went with my grandparents actually, which they're the ones who got me very into sports. They got me super into baseball when I was little. So I went to my first Cubs game with them, and then I got to go to a World Series game with them. So it was like full circle, absolutely amazing. But we did not sit after Joe Madden put Aroldis in the 7th, and he pitched all the way through in Game 5. It was, oh my gosh, unreal, like such a fun game.
And the fact that there was the rainstorm in Game 7 too, that had that little delay, it really just had that team of destiny thing.
Perfect. I have a shirt actually that says the greatest game of all time was played on a Wednesday in Cleveland. And I am like, I still will never disagree with that. It was one of the greatest Game 7s of all time, I think, in any sport. Like, it was awesome. Yeah.
In fact, the fact that they also had the 2 longest droughts going on.
Right.
And, but now it's going to be, now it's going to be weird to look back at it though, because obviously the Chicago Cubs versus the Cleveland asterisk mark. whatever.
Guardians.
Guardians. Did you see that they're getting sued actually by a roller derby team that had the pre-existing name, the Cleveland Guardians?
I did not see that. Interesting. So
fun fact.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of teams, and not disrespecting roller derby, but
Major League Baseball, roller derby, they might be a little bit higher on the totem pole.
They might be able to get a few, couple thousand thrown their way because of the lawsuit. So at least there's that.
Yeah.